Live from Dave Small's Pro Bowl West here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is the DeHayes Insurance Group PBA50 Championship. And we've got Dave Small back in booth with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson on the call for this Hall of Fame Stepladder final.
Thanks, Greg. It is Hall of Fame night. Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, Hall of Fame proprietor Dave Small. The two amigos right again. Dave and I back in the booth once again to call the action. Dave, as a proprietor, as a bowling fan, as a bowler, you couldn't ask for a better stepladder finals here at your event.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is unbelievable. 177 titles out there. 5 of my idols growing up. Doesn't get much better than that, Randy. I'm really pulling hard for Pete tonight. He's going for his 100th win. It's in my house. What a story that would be.
He's won here before. He beat some guy named Pedersen.
I think some guy named Pedersen.
Yeah, all right, he beat me. Listen, over $17 million in earnings with our top 5 players tonight. It's going to be a great show. Let's get to some of the action.
So we have one more shot between the two players.
Players are still warming up, Dave, and man, it seems like it was forever since you and I called the action on the PBA50 tour, and it was just a couple of days ago.
It does feel like a long time ago, Randy. It sure it does. I mean, I missed you.
I missed you too, buddy.
And
you know what? You did such a nice job last week, and we felt it only proper to bring you back and let you take care of us once again. I mean, your hospitality, your centers, it's first class, first rate, done the right way. And so what better way to close out the PBA50 season than Randy and Dave in the booth once again.
It's the Randy and Dave show tonight. And this is, guys, if you're out there, this is one of the best fields ever. I can't say enough about it. I mean, this is 1995 all over again with just the best in the world. But I'll tell you what, the position round was very interesting. I mean, Walter was an 8th, jumped up to 5th. You know, Parker was leading, dropped down to 4th, and it really was a lot of shuffling going on. Amleto, if he would have carried the first one in the 10th frame, would have led the tournament. Duke, if he would have carried the first one in the 10th frame against Amleto, he could have led the tournament, but Pete held on, and, you know, we're going to start it off here. Parker Bohn and Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Looks like Parker's going to start the match. He'll finish on the right lane.
And Parker Bohn is elected to start the match.
You know, it seemed like it was about 3 or 4 weeks in a row where Walter Ray was he was in the stepladder finals, only to have something disastrous happen to him, bowls a bad game, maybe some bad carry, and bowled his way out. This time, he bowls his way in.
He shot a big game that last game, shot 279 that last game to sneak from 8th into 5th. And we're getting the scoring all set up and switched across. There we go. Championship pair today, lanes 41 and 42. Beautiful 56 lane house here. Just tooting my own horn on that a little bit, Randy.
The mask, you know what I noticed was the masking units. I've been staring at the cutest little giraffes right in front of us, right here on 41 and 2. You can see them right there in your picture, folks. And, yeah, the masking units are spectacular.
Thank you, Randy. Classic Products did a great job with that. Opening shot for Parker Bohn. Oh, yes. Beautiful shot to open up with.
I've heard of this guy before.
I think so. He won last week at my center in Anderson. I was thrilled about that. What a great match that was last week.
And here I'm thinking it was deja vu. It was actually last week when he won.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Now here's the comeback kid today. Was in 8th position going in the position round. 279 to sneak back in. Opening shot, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Beautiful shot. And I think the championship pair is playing very, very equally. Across the lanes watching it this week. Most of the players are going to be in between the 2nd and 3rd arrow, swinging it out to probably 7-8 at the break point. Don't want to go too wide. It may hang a little bit or it may jump. We have seen that a little bit this week, but Pete will be playing a little bit deeper than everybody else, of course.
As will Amleto.
Yep, Amleto will be turning it even harder from in there, so we should see some great scoring matches today.
Norm's going to play right there.
Solid 10-pin for Walter Ray. And that has kept the scores down a little bit this week. With the strip and the re-oil that we do about 7 times during the tournament, we do get a little bit of push down the lane. Sometimes that's a reason that we do see a lot of solid 10 pins. And last year, Amleto was in the top 5, had 4 of them in his opening match. Great spare.
Well, I remember I have fond memories of this building 3 years ago when I lost to Pete. And I remember I had a 300 and a 299 in that event, but I remember striking a lot in this building.
This building is a great house, great carry, incredible sideboards, pins dance back and forth. Beautiful double for Parker. And that also really helps the off hit here. The light hit is an incredible carry here. And we're seeing the same thing this week that we saw last week with Parker, just quality shot after quality shot. Smooth, such a beautiful game.
Well, it hasn't changed much in the last 30 years.
And he was leading the tournament going into the position round like 2 solid 9s and a solid 8 on lane 40. So kind of owe him a little bit. He dropped 4 positions with that.
Well, he's got to be feeling pretty good that the championship pair is 41 and 2.
I know. I wouldn't want to bowl him 39 and 40 again. Great start for Parker Bohn.
You know, and if a guy can run the ladder, it's not a stretch that it would be Parker, because he's the lone lefty on the Stepladder finals tonight, and he's basically out on an island all by himself. If his shot stays there and it doesn't turn into some type of wet, dry cliff, he might just run the ladder and win back-to-back.
That would definitely be exciting. Breaks up to 7-10, Walter Ray does.
Keep in mind that either Parker or Norm Duke would have to win tonight to capture Player of the Year honors. If neither player wins, that honor goes to Brian LeClaire.
And Brian had a great season this year. 2 wins, great season. Top 16 cashes constantly. You know, he deserves it. You know, he's the only 2-time winner this year right now. Early in our first match, Walter Ray is down 21 pins to Parker Bohn. Parker Bohn perfect through 3 frames. Walter, a solid 10 pin and a soft 10 pin, broke that 7-10 up nicely. Walter looking to get back on track here. 4th frame. Very nice shot. We got a big crowd here tonight. Big crowd all the way down to lanes 31 and 32 and lanes 49 and 50. So it's a nice crowd out supporting the event. Fort Wayne always comes out.
It's good bowling town. You got lots of stuff here in Fort Wayne that appeals to the players. Great golf courses. You've got club rehab right down the road, and then you've got this great bowling center.
Oh, Parker. Oh, good break, good break.
Huge break.
Got a break. Looks like I got a little bit soft. Came off his hand a little fast, a little in. There's no hold out there.
His ball reaction looks a little bit different to me in that it looks like he has much more down lane reaction.
It does, and, you know, Parker still, you know, like you said, if that island stays there, he's going to be tough to beat tonight.
He's made a fortune playing the outside part of the lane with speed and going pretty direct. And
heck, last year he shot 880 during qualifying for 3 games.
What?
290, 290, 300. 3 in a row, 880.
Well, in qualifying, he went 300, 299 to close.
Another beautiful shot. And he's just, once they get going, guys, if you've never had the opportunity to come out to a PBA50 event, and there's one close to your town, you've got to come out and watch. I mean, look what's here, my God. You know, every idol that you had growing up, and you can touch them.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome with some of the greatest ever right in front of you.
Strike here to cut the lead. Oh, gets a mixer, and that's what I was talking about, Randy, with that pin carry on the light hits. The light hits at Pro Bowl West, really, the pins really do fly. Watch this action. Boom, all of them mixing around. 10 pin was the last one to go.
Did I see the 5-7-10 standing?
It was briefly there.
All right.
We do give an award for that here.
If you leave one or if you make one?
If you leave one. It's called go bowl in another bowling center because you got to put some figures in it. Strike here for Walter Ray. Takes a 1-pin lead. Quick change in the match. That looks good. And Gnarls on it. Leaves a 7-pin.
That's crazy. He carries the other hit on the right lane. This looks like a better shot. He leaves the soft 7.
Playing that outside line, out around 5-6. Ball didn't quite finish as hard that time. 5 just didn't quite have the energy to get over there. Not all of our fans out there watch these guys shoot spares tonight. Hard and straight, not a lot of effort.
Plastic ball.
Yep.
Take the oil pattern out of play.
Yep. And the most important thing is there's 13 inches to play with out there, on the pin. With the whole thing, 13 inches.
The diameter of a bowling ball.
The diameter of a bowling ball. Looking to double up. Ooh, an interesting 7-pin.
High again on the right lane.
I called it a 7-pin this time, Randy. I've been working on that.
I'm glad you've been doing your homework.
I have.
That was a nice break for Parker, not splitting there, but he's going to have to make a move now, and what's going to be interesting is when he does make that move, if the ball will still pick up.
Makes a 7-pin.
I think one of the other things when you watch these 5 great players tonight on Xtra Frame in this Stepladder finals is just how good their footing and their balance is. Each player looks like their legs are constantly underneath them. This guy's got some incredible balance for a 55-year-old man. He is 55, right? 54 or 55, but I mean, look at that.
So pretty. And just a classic reaction. Nice opening match here. Again, you see Parker just nice and smooth right around that second arrow. Boom. All 10 in the pit.
He's a genetic freak. I don't think there's anything on his body that hurts, and there's just something not right about that. And this guy's not far from that either.
No, Walter's 60 next year.
Is he?
He
Really?
is 60 next year.
Oh, the super seniors are going to hate that.
Mixes him up nicely. Great shot there in the 7th frame. Walter Ray only down 10 pins right now. Left the swish in 7-pin last time on lane 41. Strike here in the 8th frame. Even match, Randy. Even Steven, baby. I'll bet this one's solid. Four-pin. And there's kind of also what we've seen a little bit of this week. You go 7-pin, 4-pin, 4-pin, 10-pin, a little bit in between. There's a little ridge out there, not a tremendous amount of hold, but a little bit of a ridge.
Well, I mean, he left that half pocket 7, and I'm not sure if he moved off of that or if he got that ball left, but I think the shot out there is so scoreable, and I think that the lanes right now are so gettable. And we've seen that all week long. I think this whole pattern is very high scoring. And I think that once you get lined up, if you can stay ahead of transition, you're going to strike a lot. Now, the question for me is, what does Parker Bohn III do on this right lane?
High with the 6-10 last time. Busted out the 6-8. You left just a 7-pin high last time. He probably needs to make a 2-1 on this shot, or maybe even a 3-2. Move with his feet and his eyes. See what he does.
And that's what I was afraid of. So he makes the move, and the ball never picks up. And it was going to be a 3-7-9 combination. The 3 goes late. He leaves the 7-9. Walter Ray right back in it. And that was the only question mark for me.
Yep. And 2 years ago on this pair, Parker needed a mark to win the opening match and left a blower 7-10 on the same lane to lose by 2 pins in the opening match.
But, Dave, he chose to finish on that lane.
He did. He probably had a really good look in practice. He probably had a better look in practice between the two, but obviously what we've seen so far, he's got a much better look on 41 than he does 42.
If this goes high, he's in trouble.
Potential 226 with a strike. There it goes. Knocks that 7-pin out. That was a big strike there, Randy. Half pocket hit right here. snaps that 7-pin out.
Listen, I've got to correct you, bro. I mean, this is coming from Chuck Gardner, the Brunswick Tour rep, who says Walter is 58 and will be 59 next year.
Oh, I thought he was 60.
And this is one of the few times that I can say you were wrong.
Uh-oh. I've lost my touch. Soft 10-pin for Walter. Chuck Gardner, hope you're doing out there, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
He's watching, man. He's got 2 of his horses on the show right now.
That's right.
Chuck is a
Hi,
great
Chuck.
guy. Great guy. Craig Elliott throwing you a high check, but Chuck Gardner's a great guy and a friend of bowling, and he's done some great work over the years.
Yes, he has. Next time I'm in North Carolina, I better get down to the man cave, Chuck. That's all I'm going to say. Good cover. In an interesting situation here, Parker Bohn can take it off the sheet for 226. Walter Ray right now. Going at a
17.
potential 217.
Yeah.
So Walter needs all 3 to make Parker get up and double, and he did. Parker did step up last week, double, to win his first match.
But Dave, Parker has to finish on the right lane.
He does, and that's a little questionable right now.
Comes in light, shakes the 8 late. Now it's going to get real interesting. Spare strike, Parker needs the first hit. And I would have thought this opening match would have been a much higher score.
I was thinking 250s, 260s, all the way around.
Especially the way Parker started.
Strike here for 206. Parker would need the first one in the 10th frame to win. Spare strike. We have a tie, so this is the biggest ball of the game right now to keep the count even. Has to have this one. Good shot.
7-9 goes late, but they all go.
206 for Walter Ray to open the match with. See that ball creeps a little bit, gets the 7-9 out at the last second. That forces Parker to get the first one for the win. If Parker does not get the first one, he'll need to go spare and strike for a tie.
Yeah.
We haven't had a tie for a while.
1-ball roll off. First strike, though, does it. However, he hasn't hit the pocket in the last 3 shots on this lane.
Look at him looking down, really trying to figure out which way to move.
I like where he was on the last shot and just get a little softer.
Hit that one harder. Oh, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Watch it again. Hadn't hit the pocket solid on this lane in the last 3 shots. Absolutely flawlessly executed for the win. Needs to stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lane.
Chuck Gardner said to tell Parker to move left and firm up. I think that's exactly what Parker did on that shot.
And there's your winner of the first game.
Parker right now trying to test the waters on 42. And I'll tell you what, his next opponent, Norm Duke, I guarantee you Norm's going to make him finish on lane 42.
Oh, I know I would if I was in that position right now.
Without question.
But, of course, the odds of me being out there in any shape, well, you know. Still a good opening match. Taking a practice shot.
Wow, he just made the 9-10. All right, match number 1 in the books, folks. Stay with us. Match number 2 featuring Norm Duke and Parker Bohn III right around the corner. Stay with us. All right, we are back. Match number 2, the PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Group Championship, presented by
Me, Pro Bowl West, and
presented by Pro Bowl West and Ebonite.
Ebonite.
Thank you to our great sponsors. Without you, none of this would be possible. And as anticipated, Norm Duke is going to make Parker start the match and make him finish on lane 42.
Very, very smart choice, especially after watching Parker struggle slightly on lane 42, but he did get that first one in the 10th that he needed desperately. Beautiful opening shot.
Well, it looks like he could strike on lane 41 with his eyes closed.
Again, just a picture-perfect balance there. Right over the second arrow out to about 5. Boom. All 10 in the pit. I get bored with saying that. I really do. But it's It's good, though. It's pretty to watch.
Well, in watching Norm in warm-ups, his last shot on this lane, he left a flat 10, and so that may have factored into his decision.
A little bit more hand, a little bit more roll.
Oh, it looked like he kind of zipped on it at the bottom there. Watch this.
Looks like he hit it nice at the bottom. Looks like he lost it just a touch, but such a pretty shot. 16-pound ball.
Yeah, still using 16.
And
Him, Brian Voss, myself.
You 16?
Yes, sir.
I heard you dropped to 12.
That would be negative, Ghost Rider.
That was worth a shot. 16-pound ball for Norm Duke, and he's the only one on the show who will not switch balls for his spares.
No.
Takes his strike ball and just throws it right at it.
Down lane cameraman moving. Norm's going to reset, regroup, and the down lane cameraman gets a reprimand. One more time, there'll be severe caning involved.
Ooh. Caning.
Yeah.
All right. Sign me up. Let me go take some photographs. Sign me up.
Didn't need to hear that ever.
Norm Duke here after the reset, looking to start with a quick double. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful shot. Keeps his hand up the back, rolling it end over end. Nice down and in ball reaction for Norm Duke.
And he's playing basically the same line that Walter was playing, but playing a little bit more of a swing, a little bit softer speed, and a little bit more hand, and a little bit more ball.
A little more end over end, a little bit higher rev rate.
And that's going to be one of the keys for him. I think he's got to hit lane 42 right now, what we were talking about earlier. I think Norm's got to hit 42, and I think Parker's both got to hit 42. That seems to be the trickier of the two lanes. That lane looks to be hanging just a little bit for both players. Parker looking for the quick double.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Blower 710. Well, he barely got the 6-pin out on that one.
He almost left a
Four-pin.
ripper 6-7-10.
Pete Weber stopping here in the booth and saying hello. Hi, Uncle Pete. Very well. How are you, sir?
Wow. Unreal. But you know what? That's the lane. Can you bounce it out? Ooh.
Gave it a shot. And that he left a 710 on that lane 2 years ago in the 10th frame, which cost him in the first match.
Well, apparently the topography in your center is very consistent because it's still there.
It's still there, baby. And yet this is one of the higher scoring pairs in the center with our league bowlers.
Very unfortunate break for Parker, but
He'll bounce back. Make a nice quality shot here. There we go. And he's looking down going, I think I want to rip lane 42 out right now.
well, right now he's thinking about offering some cash to Norm Duke to allow him to just bowl on lane 41 the rest of the match.
I got a 20.
It's going to cost more than that.
Darn it.
Look at Parker. He's like, are you kidding me? 6-7-10? Or excuse me, 4-7-10.
Aha. I'm rubbing off on Randy. It's kind of fun. Duke here looking for a 3-bagger early in our first match. Second match.
Look out.
410.
Right back on it.
And like we talked about, lane 42, that one looked a little bit soft. Jumped on him. 410.
I was going to say it looked a little soft out of his hand.
And we watched the same thing last year on the show with the lanes starting off tough, and they just got a little bit tougher on the show last year. Unfortunately, Bobby Learn came on as our tournament leader and shot 150 in the title match on the same pattern. So it was, I don't want to see a repeat of that with these guys. I want to see some good scores here. Great spare, probably one of the best split shooters out there. He's just going to go hard and straight, right at it.
Nope.
Gets his count.
Well, I didn't think that was going to happen, and I don't think Norm did either.
So he goes over and checks out where he hit the ball, where he hit the foul line, where he's laying it down. He's probably one of the most analytical guys on the tour. I mean, he can get in your head and play with you and just drag a match out as long as possible sometimes. Make you think a little bit longer.
He's a visionary.
Yes, he is. Basically, we have a 2-pin match right now. 4th frame. Much better shot. I think they all wish they could throw it on just 41 right now. Huge crowd here right now enjoying the action. Again, another beautiful shot by Norm Duke. Lane 41 just buries it. 10 in the pit. Oh, and there's Pete Weber.
As soon as Norm turned his head on that shot, he immediately started to try to dissect what happened on lane 42, I promise you.
7-10 blower last time on lane 42 for Parker. I know that's playing with him right now. He's playing with his mind a little bit. Let's see. Looks like he's moved just a touch with his feet again. Soft 7. Better shot, better shot.
That is the last thing that he wanted to see was the quitter 7.
Yes. 6-pin would have been good. 7-pin, not so good. Parker goes nice across lane. Simple spare the 7-pin.
All right, now the players are perfect on the left lane. On the lane 42, the right lane, not so much.
2-pin match right now. Parker Bohn up by 2 in the 5th frame. Duke will be stepping up, working on a strike. Good looking shot. Snaps the 7-pin out. You see the difference in the reaction on that one, Randy.
Well, I see the difference in how many pins he knocks down on lane 41 versus 42.
That ball seemed to have a little bit more energy as it went down the lane. Looked like it had stored a little bit more, so I'm wondering if 42 is getting a little bit of push right now. That's causing the flat 7, the flat 10, the 410 on the quit. I don't know. But we saw 42 be the tough lane last year.
I don't have a score sheet in front of me, but I think Parker has struck every shot on lane 41.
I would agree with you on that. Soft 10-pin for this time for Norm.
And there's probably a move off of the high shot.
That ball is definitely in a little bit farther. It was in about 2 boards further than where he was last time when the ball checked and left the 410. Again, one of the few guys who just goes hard and straight. And
Cameraman got him again down lane.
it's not us. We're a good 60 feet away from the players.
I mean, so what I'm looking at is this down and in type of shot doesn't look like it's great. So that tells me that Amleto and Pete Weber might feast on this right now because they can get in and open the lane up. Now, it's not that Norm can't, but Norm would much rather do what he's doing, that little straight down and in kind of shot. And
I mean, how many tournaments has Norm won swinging the gutter?
he's made a fortune. He's made a fortune throwing it straight up the lane. This should be a strike. I mean, he's locked in on this left lane, and so is Parker. So it's going to come down to who can strike on 42.
There we go.
Interesting that 42, that lane 41 is good for both players.
Normally you have the opposite for both players. Normally the lefty struggles on one
Correct.
lane, the right.
Yeah, and that's why it's so interesting that both players are having a good go on 41, and neither one can hit 42. Parker, soft 7 the last time on 42. I think Chuck Gardner's probably sitting at home going, Parker, move your feet a board to the left and fire it.
Still holding on to a 2-pin lead right now. 6th frame. Yet to hit the lane 42. Let's see if he can get one here, Randy.
Changed balls.
Yes, he did. Oh, and a solid. Wow. He left 2 of those in the position round on the pair right next to us on 39 and 40. You want to talk about a gutsy move. Ball change. Solid shot. Solid 9-pin. Oh, God.
Parker, I've got a number of a good therapist for you.
I used Randy's therapist. It was pretty successful. Got the demons out of me. All right, he makes a 9-pin, and he is dejected right now. But he still holds on to a 2-pin lead. The only difference now is Duke can step up in the 7th frame and take the lead for the first time in this match. Great shot. You know, it's a
Well, there's something new.
exactly. It's like an Andy Verapapa 300 game, but not all in a row, all on one lane. Guys are starting to warm up down there. Amleto, Monacelli, and Pete Weber practicing down on 35 and 36 right now, getting loose. I know Pete's been watching. I know Amleto's been watching off to the side, checking things out. Strike here in the 7th for Duke to take the lead. Oh, great adjustment, Randy. Moved in, circled a little bit more, and it looked like he tightened his line up down lane a little bit. So we see Norm looks like he circled it a little bit more inside. It's a little farther in, about 2 boards in. This time it finished for a solid in the pocket. Takes his 8-pin lead.
And taking a re-rack on lane 41. Well, this is supposed to be the good lane for both players. Norm must take advantage of the strike he just threw on lane 42.
And the players sometimes take re-racks for a couple of reasons. The first, obviously, the pins being off spot. And a second time also maybe to just collect their thoughts a little bit, take a little bit of extra time because there's a shot clock out there.
Buy time.
And buy a little time. Big strike here, makes it a 3-bagger and an 18-pin lead. Soft 10-pin. Quitter 10.
He didn't look like he threw that one very well.
He didn't look like he hit the line very solid that time, Randy. It looked like he kind of came off the shot just a little bit. Not quite as hard of a shoulder thrust that he normally has.
And that's too bad because that's the good lane.
And right now, you don't want to miss on that good lane because 42 can be a little bit of an adventure.
And the other problem is now Parker can strike out and shut him out.
Yes, he can. Good spare.
.228 max for Parker Bohn the third, .225 for Norm Duke.
Parker with a little bit of a bless sign there of please let me get one on this lane.
Just got to be thinking, what do I have to do to strike on this lane?
Strike here to take the lead back. Oh, he got it.
hey, easy. Don't
No
foul.
foul.
Don't foul.
He
All
was
right.
down begging for that one. Solid 9-pin swishing 7-10. He needed one really, really bad, and you don't see Parker do that very often, but that was a big, big strike. Sets up a great situation right now with the score.
Well, it was a great shot, a great quality shot that he threw there, and
was.
he should have 4-bagger right now.
Yes, he should. The strike here, he needs a strike here, or Duke can step up and give him a run for his money as well.
Whoops, whoops, whoops. Well, you never see him do that.
Nope.
Piece of tape come loose or something.
Something. It's 85 degrees outside today, and you know this is a big place with a lot of people in it right now. So, and the TV lights and the pressure. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Has to have this one, or Norm can step up and shut him out. Rips rack. There it is.
Beautiful. Well, no matter what Norm Duke does now, he can't shut out Parker Bohn the third.
Best Norm Duke can do is 225, which is a good game out there. That would force Bohn to step up and get the first 2 in the 10th plus 8. So, got to have this one. Got to have this one, Randy.
Agreed.
We talk critical shots in the match, and this is it right here. Threw the ball perfectly on lane 42 last shot.
Weber watching.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful shot by Norm. And that sets up the situation right now. Duke going at a 205 pace, potential 225 out there. Another excellent shot. You see he's moved in a little bit. He's a little farther in and circling it a little bit more, a little softer speed. Got all 10 pins in the pit on that shot. 3 strikes in the 10th forces Parker to get up and double an 8 to win this match. So Norm needs the first one. The first one is very, very critical. That'll put him in the 2 teens. Oh, he got the 7-pin out.
Wow.
Looked like the same shot Walter Ray threw in that lane earlier and didn't quite get the 7-pin. He got that 5-pin to dance hard enough over there and kicked that 7-pin out. Classic style of Norm Duke, just rips the rack and, got 5-pin, comes rack back around, Randy.
That was pretty fortunate pin carry right there. The way that 7-pin went out. I mean, that's not something you see every day from just your average Joe.
Absolutely not. This strike here puts him in the 220s and will force Parker to get the first 2 in the 10th frame.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Wow.
Had a little Stu Williams follow through on that shot with a little approach error, and the ball ends up high flush.
Well, you don't win 38 titles of,
Well, there's something to be said about being in position and having a great swing, and it enables you to get away with stuff like that. Your swing's all over the place, and you were to hit the foul line like that, God, you could get 0.
I would just go down the lane with it. I'd probably go farther than the ball. Big count here. Needs a full count here for 225. Oh, soft 10-pin.
It's all right.
Good finish, 224 for Norm Duke. Great game. Fans here definitely are appreciating it. That puts situation here where Parker needs 2 strikes and 7 pins to win this match. 2 strikes and 7. And we watched Parker last week in his first match against Jeff Safino, having to step up, having to throw a double to win. Did 1, 2, and then 3. Something to serve Parker.
Demons.
What is going on out there, people? It's not us.
He heard something and backed off, but nothing bothers this man.
Nope.
Unflappable.
And again backing off. Can't seem to get the right feel in the ball that time. Needs this first one. Beautiful shot on the tough lane. 1 more and 7.
Well, he's made a ball change on that lane, and so far so good.
Definitely so far so good. The last 2 shots have been perfect on that right lane. Needs this one here and then a count of 7, and he will go on defeat to bowl Amleto Monacelli. Angie's favorite. Pete Weber back there just having a good time, loose as the tournament leader. Gotta have this one. Oh, and a great shot. Solid 7-pin.
Well, you got to go back to the stone 9 that he left, and
Stone 9, the 7-10. It was the best effort by him. Oh,
yeah, I mean, honestly, this was Parker's game, and the carry demons got him.
got him just a little bit. 224 to 217. Great match. Norm Duke moving on to bowl Amleto Monacelli in the semifinals. Randy Peterson, Dave Small here calling the action. Be right back with you.
Don't forget Craig Elliott and $2 Phil Brylow.
Phil Brylow. I love Phil Brylow.
Back with more in a minute.
This season, so give it up for Amleto, Monacelli, and Norm Duke.
And we're back here live for the PBA50 DeHayes Insurance Group Championship. The man, Randy Peterson, along with his faithful sidekick, Hop Along Small.
Oh, that's great. Well, the Hall of Fame night continues, and I guess if you're going to go by titles, Amleto's the underdog?
Slightly underdog.
He only has 20.
You got 38 and 38. 38 and 38, so that's 76. So he's only got, 1/4 of the top two, but that's all right.
And look, Amleto makes Norm start and finish on the right lane.
See, they're getting smarter. They're realizing that 42 is a bit touchy. Duke's got a pretty good look out there right now. He really finished strong out on lane 42. Got that ball right out to where he's been starting it, right between the second and third arrow, up to about 7 at the break point, and it comes back nicely.
Well, you're finally going to see a player play this championship pair completely different.
He's going to be inside, closer to the 4th arrow, sliding towards the left gutter and just gnarling on the ball. Gnarl.
Starting with his hand on the side to weaken that hand just a bit.
In around the 4th arrow. Oh, and getting that 7th pin out of there. All right. And we were talking how good the pin carry was this week, and well, you know, it's just
except on lane 42.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna rip this bowling. I think I'm gonna take out lanes 41 and 42 at this point. Knocks that 7 pin out just enough.
Apparently, lane 42 was built on an ancient Aztec burial ground.
I think it has been. I think all the dead mannequins are underneath there. This used to be a department store many years ago, so all the mannequins are buried under that there. And he makes a 10 pin.
That is so not good.
Creepy
for a bowler.
Creepy
to know that now. You could have said something before the start of the Stepladder finals.
Well, kind of keep it alive, if you know what I'm saying.
Different ball in the left lane for Amleto.
Looked like he went a little bit tighter on the right lane. I think he's going to open up this left lane even more. Swing it even farther.
Looks like big ball with surface.
Pin on the side of the ball to get that ball to roll farther down the lane. A little bit more side roll than end over end. Gives it a lot of room. Oh, yeah, there we go. Woohoo!
Well, that was dirty.
I love it. That's the pin carry we would like to see here at Pro Bowl West. Amleto in around that 4th arrow, just gnarls on that shot again. Head pin to the sideboard. Ooh. See you later. Bye. 10 pin.
That was a fast messenger.
That was vicious. Vicious 10 pin.
Full fingertip grip of Norm Duke.
Looking to start out with a quick double. Great shot on lane 42. Looks like Duke's got both lanes figured out right now. He's been flush on the last 3 shots on lane 42.
Now remember, Weber also got practice during the break on this pair, along with Amleto. As the tournament leader, that's what you get, and it's going to be interesting to see if the lanes transition.
See Pete's over there with John Weber's beautiful wife, Chris. Duke looking for a 3-bagger and a 20-pin lead, soft 10-pin. And that's not the lane to miss on right now, Randy. Can't really see anything wrong with that shot. Looks like maybe just a touch fast or at the worst, but
just soft into the pocket. I mean, that could just be hand at the bottom.
I just grab at the bottom of it. I don't care.
You just wrench on everything, don't you?
That's it. It's easy.
Hey, when all else fails, just wrench on it.
Amen, brother. Screw the 10 pin. Just grip it and rip it. Cross lane for the 10 pin. Great spare. Nice and easy. Did you know there is a funny fact about me, Randy?
About who?
About me.
Okay.
There's a funny fact. They actually ranked all the PBA players, and I am the 1.8 millionth on the greatest of all time list. 1.8 millionth.
I didn't know there was that many pros.
There was. I tell you, they ranked me at 1.8 million. Way down.
Well, that's something to be very proud of.
Need a couple of them to pass on to move up. Tighter line. Great shot for Amleto. Looks like he even moved in a little bit on that one. Didn't get it quite as wide.
He went to the big ball that he used on the left lane. He got one look at that other bowling ball and then moved in with the big ball.
Yep, he didn't quite go nearly as wide on that lane as he did last time. He was about 3 or 4 boards in on where he was last time.
I think there's less return on the right lane. So I think he moved in. He tried to play a little more hold.
I think he did too, and he definitely kept it in a little bit tighter. That's a big double for Amleto. He takes a 1-pin lead. 3-bagger here. Takes an 11-pin lead over Duke in the 4th frame. And 35 years ago, guys said he'd never make it.
I remember those words.
For the 3-bagger. Oh, rips him up.
I remember when he first came out and players would say, oh, that kid's got to change. There's no way he can beat anybody throwing it like that.
Well, he proved us all wrong, that was for sure. And
And then he had like 8 or 11 seconds in a row before he finally won.
I remember that, and I remember his first victory at the Showboat against Mark Roth in 1988, throwing dead straight down the middle.
Yep.
Because the lanes were almost impossible that day. It was ugly. Fourth frame, Duke working on a spare. Fluff 10-pin that time.
Back-to-back week 10s, never a good sign.
Randy, what in your case, you bowled on tour for years and years and years, tons of titles, lots of money, Hall of Famer yourself. Back-to-back week 10s, what kind of adjustment would you make?
For me personally, I would move right and try to jam it. There's a couple of different moves you can make, but I might move a half right. I might stay where I'm at and get a little bit softer. I don't want to give it any more hand because it might have a tendency to break loose, but I think with Norm's touch, he could chase it just a pinch right on both lanes and try to jam it.
Great advice, guys, from Randy Peterson, Hall of Famer out there. I mean, don't win as many titles as Randy has won over the years and be in the PBA booth for almost 20 years now, rocking it out.
It's been fun.
And we've enjoyed you.
I mean, I love it. I love watching, calling the action. I love the sport, and I love watching great bowlers compete. It's this is exactly why I do what I do. When you have 5 Hall of Famers on the show, and Stepladder finals, and being able to call their action.
And we appreciate it, Randy, everything you've done over the years for the sport.
Pleasure's been all mine.
Great shot there on lane 41. Again, 41 is not the lane to miss on. Soft 10 last time, great adjustment. Looks like he just did exactly what you said, hit on a little harder and jammed it in there.
Amleto now getting up on a 3-bagger, and if I was Norm, I'd be a little concerned because this next shot on this right lane is going to be very telling.
Very, very telling. You're exactly right, Randy. He absolutely destroyed the pocket on the last shot. First shot was kind of questionable. Change balls right away, backing off. Didn't quite have the feel in the ball he was looking for. We did pay the electric bill on the air conditioner, so it is 68 degrees in here. 4-bagger here is really going to put make Norm Duke think. Oh, he hit that one really hard.
It was
610.
left.
He yanked it. He yanked that one at the bottom. He did what I would do. Grip it and rip it at the bottom. If you watch, great replay by Craig here. You see him just gnarl at the bottom of that shot. That ball was a good 3-4 boards left out of his hand.
Well, and that's why I said that shot was going to be so telling, because I think that lane's tight to the right, and that proved it. Amleto didn't get it to the right, and that tells me that there's a little bit of hang. I saw Weber in practice with a little hang to the right on that lane. You don't see a player like Amleto Monacelli miss left like that when he has return right.
You got that right. He was hooking from coast to coast last year. He was into the 4th arrow, out to about 3-4 at the break point, and just ran that ball back and forth. Ripsarak, good shot.
He knows it's going to get back on that lane.
We're seeing that there may be just a touch of hold on 41 as well. That one didn't go quite as wide as the other one. I'd say that's about 2 boards in from his last shot, and did rip the rack nicely.
I think that lane is easy to get to the pocket on, left and right.
Big shot for Duke here right now. Duke's down just 10 pins. It's a 10-pin match. Strike here to even the matchup, Randy. Soft 10-pin on this lane last time. As we see Pete over in the corner just kind of eyeing the action right now. Doesn't practice much in between.
Doesn't practice much ever.
This is true. To even the match. Oh, yeah. Nice and high flush. And the fans really appreciating the action tonight. Starting to chant Duke, Duke, Duke.
Duke with still a chance at stealing Player of the Year honors away from Brian LeClaire, but he has to win.
He has to win. Absolutely. Big double that he just threw it up there. Randy makes the match even. On the better of the 2 lanes right now. Absolutely. Strike here, 10-pin lead. A lot of room on that one. Oh, yeah, rolled back. Looks like he's got a little bit more room out there. And seeing a little bit different Norm Duke this week than we did last week. Last week he looked a little bit kind of lost out on the lanes. He didn't feel very comfortable in Anderson. We're seeing a much more aggressive Duke this week.
The lanes transitioned last week on the right side of the lane to where the players had a real wet, dry ball reaction, and certainly not the case this week. Much easier to get to the pocket.
And one lesson to be learned by that, urethane sometimes is not your friend.
You know, Amleto did what he had to do. That was the ball that enabled him to stay far enough right, and that's what you had to do in that pattern. Unfortunately, urethane does crazy things to an oil pattern, carries oil down the lane. He's not using urethane now, but he did make a ball change again.
Back to the other ball. Back to the other ball. So he started with that ball, threw the other ball twice. I think that's the same opening shot ball, Randy.
Well, it's very interesting that you make a ball change off of a bad shot, and but Amleto knows what he's doing. I mean, he's actually changed balls on both lanes now. And remember the last shot on the left lane, he struck.
He struck, but obviously he didn't like the reaction that he had. Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, it's an even match right now. Even match, 8th frame. Strike here to take 10-pin lead back. Hit that one hard. Oh, a beautiful shot by Amleto. Beautiful shot.
Some kind of chess match going on in Amleto Monacelli's brain. Juggling bowling balls, changing lines, and the execution is just flawless. I mean, he's making these changes with conviction.
Duke down 10 pins now. Looking at some good potential scores here. If Duke can take it off the sheet, it's going to be 268. So, good match here going, Randy. To even the match again. Beautiful shot by Duke.
It looks like his best reaction is when he gets his hand to kick around the side of the ball just a little bit. And that increases his down lane reaction to where he doesn't leave the flat 10. When he gets a little bit too much up the back, he loses that down lane reaction, and it's a flat 10 every time. What a great match.
Great match here. Even right now, Duke has to have this strike or Amleto can step up and shut him out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and a balk. Seen a lot of that tonight. I don't know if it's feeling the ball. I don't know if it's feet. I don't know if it's even these guys, as many titles out there, there's a lot of respect for one another. You know, could be a little touch of nerves too. It happens. We're human. Biggest shot of the week here for Duke. He's got to have this strike. Even match right now, or Duke can step up, throw a double, and shut him out. Out the window, but got it back. He did not like that shot, Randy, at all. That looked a good 2 or 3 boards right.
Got away with one.
He did, and that's how he does it, we don't know. That's out the window. He doesn't like it. And that just mixes him up, hits light.
See, I think you can do that on the left lane. I don't think it gets back on the right lane.
No, not at all. It's like a good boxing match here, Randy.
Back and
good
forth.
Jabs.
Great match.
This is what we like to see. This is what our fans like to see. This is what our Extra Frame subscribers want to see. Amleto to even the match. Hook. Oh. And maybe that strategy might have backfired a little bit on that one. That one you definitely can see he got it out a little bit. Watch it hang right there. There it hangs. And comes in behind the head pin, leaves the 7-10.
Well, all the decision making that it went into what got him to this point is inevitably going to be his undoing as that ball got back to the pocket for 8.
It did. Tried to bounce it out. Best that Amleto Monacelli can shoot now is 234. Duke's just going to need to step up in the 10th frame with a very simple spare, counting the mark, and he'll be the winner.
Second time we've seen a pocket 7-10 on that lane, once by Parker and now by Amleto.
I have to talk to Marty about checking those pins or something. must have the first two to make Duke mark to move on. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Now what? Now you got to go back.
Wow.
Now you go back to the hotel and you go, what if?
What if? What if I didn't switch balls?
What if I would have stayed with that ball?
That was almost a 4-5-7-10. That was, wow. Wow.
This match is over. Pete Weber's going to take on his good friend Norm Duke in the title. In the title match.
This is going to be an incredible match. Incredible talent. Wow, what a disheartening way to finish for Amleto Monacelli.
Terrible. Terrible break.
Finish.
Terrible break. Back-to-back pocket 7-10s. Unreal.
Duke can take it off the sheet for 268 right now. And I'm not even going to bet, but Duke's going to be finishing on lane 42 in the next match. I already know that.
I mean, I would think, unless Weber's got a better look, but
I don't think I've ever seen Pete come on as a tournament leader and finish the match last. Pete's got his hands full with Duke coming on. Duke right now is in the 250s. You know, Pete's got his hands full. He's got a tiger out there right now, and you know, I love Norm Duke. Norm Duke's one of my idols, but Pete, you know, to me, Pete's one of my closest friends, and he's going for his 100th title milestone in my house. I mean,
Dave, you can't root for Pete.
I know I can't.
You have to be
Unbiased.
unbiased. You can't be partial to Pete Weber.
Well, I won't.
Now, secretly, you can pull for him all you want.
Exactly. But I just want to see an awesome match. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. Big 268 for Norm here with the fill ball. And like I said, Pete Weber's got his hands full with Norm coming over here. Norm seems to have the look on both lanes now. A little bit tighter and straighter on 42. Beautiful game of 268. Tighter and straighter on 42 and a little bit more to loop on lane 41. Championship match coming up here. Two of the greatest, Pete Weber, Norm Duke, Randy Peterson and his sidekick, Dave Small. Be right back with the action.
We are back for the title match here at the PBA50. DeHayes Insurance Group Championship presented by Pro Bowl West and Ebonite. Pete Weber, Norm Duke. Weber has one more shot here in practice, and then we'll determine who starts the match. It's going to be a great matchup between two friends and two of the winningest players in the history of the sport.
76 titles, Randy, between the two of them. I struggle counting that high. I need more toes and hands, and we could have some history tonight here, Randy. Pete Weber is going for his 100th title. Be the second player in history behind Walter Ray Williams Jr. to win 100 titles, and you know, I'm honored to be sitting here. I've got two Hall of Famers, the best in the game, going for a title. I can't ask for anything more.
Pete's going to make Norm start the match, which means Norm will finish on the right lane. Norm, he's going for Player of the Year honors.
Just shot 268 out there. Starts off with a solid 10-pin. Nice opening shot. Right about the 10 board out to that 7 mark.
Nothing to be concerned with yet.
Not yet at all. Making some quick adjustments on that ball. Maybe his hand shrunk a little bit, or sometimes when you bowl a lot, your hand tends to shrink just a touch. Maybe had to add a piece of tape.
Well, Norm's always fidgeting with his tape in his thumb hole.
Cross lane for the 10-pin. Great spare to open with. I actually got the privilege of getting one of Norm's balls signed one time, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't even figure out which holes to put my hand in.
He doesn't use grips, and then he literally takes the ball off the press and doesn't touch the fingers or thumb holes, so the holes are extremely sharp. Whereas Pete Weber uses finger grips and a thumb insert.
Throwing the code red that he threw during the final game of the blocks. Gets it back, snaps the 10-pin out.
It's amazing. Just yesterday I was watching Pete, and it looked like he was just in the biggest funk and saw him today, and he said, no, I'm good today. I was just a little down and a little depressed the other day, but I'm good today. And then after game one, he was like down in 14th or something, and then all of a sudden.
268, 269, 269. That's all it takes. 807.
And here is our tournament leader.
Quick double to take a 10-pin lead against Duke. Trips a 4-pin.
Who do you think you are?
That's right.
He is.
That's right, baby. Pete a little bit soft on that shot, but he's got the magic touch. No one can duplicate that ball roll. First trip 4-pin we've seen this evening on the show. And I think Pete wants this pretty bad right now. But I think Norm wants it just as much. Solid 10-pin to open on the first frame for Duke. Beautiful shot on lane 42. You see Norm Duke once again just inside that second arrow out to about the 7 board at the break point. Beautiful, beautiful strike.
There he goes back after the tape. Constantly moving that tape and cork around. And
always fidgeting with that ball. Needs a strike here in the third frame to even the matchup early in our championship game. Beautiful shot.
wow.
Tell you what, this is going to be an awesome match. Can tell already.
You could put a plate of food on his head and you wouldn't spill a drop.
Not
that
at
shot.
all. Not at all. Even match right now. Pete Weber opened with a quick double. Tripped the 4-pin on lane 41. Snapped the 10-pin out on lane 42. 3-bagger here to take a 10-pin lead. A lot of room. Oh, and rows the rack out. He's got that roll, Randy, that just seems to get that ball around that little bit of a snake point out there that we saw Amleto have a little trouble with, and we saw Walter Ray have a little bit of trouble with. It came back just enough.
Well, he's got a unique roll and a unique hand, but he also has to make sure he's using the right bowling ball to go through the pins the right way so he can carry shots like that.
Looking for the front 4 and a 20-pin lead early in our championship match. Great extension on that shot. Oh, yes, beautiful shot by Pete. Like we said, this is not going to be a here you take it, no I don't want it match. This is going to be who's going to outbowl each other.
I mean, for me, this is almost like a match where you really don't even need to say anything. You just watch these two great performers do their thing.
Rips the rack. I'll take that as a hint from Randy.
No, man, I mean,
gotta bust this drops a little bit.
You know, this is truly a unique thing that we're experiencing watching these two go at it. Remember that I think Norm's 52 or 53. Pete's my age. He's 55. How many more times are you going to see that? I'm just in awe of watching these two great players go at it.
Absolutely. I agree. This to even the match. Looks good. Oh, yes. Beautiful shots. This is an awesome, awesome match. And all of our fans out there, just like Randy said, how many more times will this happen? Just picture perfect.
It's just it's a beautiful thing to watch. If you're a sports fan, if you're a bowling fan, I mean, this is as good as it gets in our sport.
Dead even match. Right now, Weber looking to open with the front 5. Oh, beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Once again, that unique style and that beautiful roll and that crazy roll. I don't know how he does it. It's just, I wish I had 1/10 of that talent in my pinky finger, Randy.
I've got one for you. If you could step into either man's body and throw it like them, would you take Weber or would you take Duke?
I'd take you, Randy.
I'm being serious. Which guy?
I would take Pete. Just that unique roll. Looking for half a dozen cousin to open the championship match and retake a 20-pin lead. Yes, beautiful shot. This is what we were expecting to see earlier in the action, Randy. It's getting that great extension, that great follow through. High flush.
Over 100 years of experience between these two, and we could possibly have a 290 to 300 match. It's just incredible. Norm Duke knows that it is must-strike situation, even though it's just the 6th frame.
To cut the lead to just 10 pins. Oh, yes, snaps the 10-pin out.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about, Randy.
And there's that react. He knows.
Now we're starting to see some emotion out there. We're starting to see some grit. And this is why both the players have won 38 titles each on the national tour. Duke down 10 pins here in the 6th frame, stepping up in the 7th. Needs a strike to even the match.
Norm Duke versus Pete Weber.
I'm
Epic.
in awe.
Just epic.
I'm in awe. To even the match. Oh, beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. This is awesome, guys. This is absolutely awesome. If you think it's great at home, you should be sitting here with us. This is just unbelievable.
Two completely different styles playing the lanes, two completely different ways. Both players with a 6-bagger.
Pete with the front 6. Looking to start out for the front 7 and retake a 10-pin lead. Get there. Oh, it got there. Great shot. Wow, I was a little worried on that one, Randy. I thought it hit that spot and did that little skate like Amleto did, but man, that side roll that he has just gets it to pick up at the last second and destroys the rack.
My only question mark is this left lane for Pete. A little high flush, then a little high flush. I wonder if he's going to make a move.
Is it a board move? Maybe a board
It
with
might
your
be
feet?
more than that.
2 board move, 1 with your eyes.
Might be a 2-and-1. I'm just saying, watch out for too much hook on the left lane.
A lot of room. Oh, it leaves a solid 9-pin. Randy, you
That's
called it.
exactly what I was talking about.
Randy just called it, y'all. Little high flush leaves a solid 9-pin. He thought that pin was going to kick around and get it. Right at the 9. All right. Now we have to look at possibility on the scores. Norm Duke can take it off the sheet for 290. The best Weber can do is 279 now, so that 9-pin could have just cost Pete Weber the tournament very easily.
But here's the thing. If Norm Duke misses once,
Pete can step
Pete
up
can
and
strike out and
shut him out.
claim the title.
I don't think Duke's going to miss on this right lane. Looks good. Oh, my God.
Well,
Oh.
the Dave Small kiss of death. Bo Burton lives vicariously through Dave Small. And this looked like it needed a little bit of help, but that is a horrible break.
Oh, my.
Another
710.
pocket 710 on lane 42. Can you believe this, folks?
That is the 4th 710 of the night. Bounce it out.
Unreal.
Wow. Oh, my God. And he left that 2 weeks ago in Hammond on the right lane to lose to Ron Moore after Ron Moore has put his stuff in the bag.
What a title match. My goodness. This is Ollie Frazier. I mean, this is as good as it gets.
Norm can take it off the sheet for 256 now. Pete Weber is going at a 249 pace.
Right now, Norm's got to pick himself up off the ground and find a way to finish big. Wow. Strike here, and he is still in this. Weber would need to double.
I still can't believe another 710 on lane 42.
And that's the lane Norm has to finish on.
Let's see if he can come back from that. That was probably the most disheartening shot of the year so far. Come on, Norm, get it back. Beautiful shot.
Well, and the fact that it's happened to him twice
in 3 weeks
is gut-wrenching, but he's still not dead.
Not dead at all. He can still go out for 256, which is Weber's got to get a double somewhere right now. He's got to get a double. That looks good. Oh, beautiful shot.
Weber strikes first ball, he wins. If he does not, Norm Duke can step up in the 10th and win this title and Player of the Year honors. Pete has to strike first ball, left lane. If he does, the title is his. It'll be his 100th combined title.
256 potential for Duke again. Pete with a spare strike will shoot 259. Needs a mark on this ball for his 100th title. Oh, and he's done it. Oh, my God. Wow. What a shot to win the title. You just can't throw it any better than that. And what a horrible break that Norm Duke suffered on lane 42. That shot by Pete just dead flush and couldn't ask for anything better. Straight down the middle. Yes.
Well, I called the score incorrectly. He just needed good count. He didn't need the first one. When you said 249, you threw me. It was 259 that he was going at. But
Strike
279
here. 279 is good enough for a win, Randy.
Yep.
279 for his 100th title. Oh, yes. Can't ask for a better match, Randy.
How about that? 279 with a stone 9 in the 8th.
Stone 9 in the 8th, and wow, 710 in the 8th frame again for Duke. That's just such a heartbreak for me. Such a heartbreaking shot. Norm will just finish out with class, like he always does. Just, oh, there goes the 10 pin.
Well, that's
one shot too late.
It's a horrible way to lose. It happened to Parker. It's happened to Norm. All the pocket 710s have been on that lane. Amleto Monacelli goes back-to-back pocket 710s. The 710 was the beast in this Stepladder finals.
Norm with one more strike will be in the 260s. Oh, beautiful shot. Boy, I wish he had that 8th frame back again. Man. Shoot 256 out there. That's a big score, and we hadn't seen a lot of big scores out there, but, you know, congratulations to Pete Weber winning his 100th title. You know, I'm trying to fight tears back on that one.
I know you're very proud of that, and you've got some work to do. You got some hardware handout, Dave Small. Great job on the booth. Get down there and hand out a check and a trophy.
And a beautiful game by Norm, 255. Great job. We're going to turn it over here to Randy Peterson with an interview live from Provo West with Pete Weber momentarily.
PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Randy?
Thank you, John. How about that, folks? How about that action? Pete, you got a second? Come on. Come talk to me. How about a nice round of applause for Norm Duke, folks? Great stepladder finals. But our winner, once again here at Pro Bowl West, Pete Weber. Pete, obviously coming into this title match, you knew what was on the line. Your 100th career title combined, going up against your good friend Norm Duke. And it was a really tight match up until Norm left the pocket 7-10. What went through your mind when you saw that?
Actually, I thought, what a really bad break that he got. I mean, he threw it great. He hit the pocket. That's all you can do is hit the pocket. It's up to the pins to go down. He got a really bad break. I really feel sorry for him. But, you know, it was a really good break for me. So, you know. And I know that probably makes him feel really bad again. But, Norm, you know you're one of my best friends out here, and thank you so much. And thanks for making me work as hard as I had to work. Thank you.
Pete, before the start of the title match, did you think that you had a ball reaction that would enable you to possibly bowl 279?
Yeah, Randy, I actually did. I mean, you know, I bowled good in my last. Well, you
Every time I put it in front of you, it stops working.
I know, but all right. Well, I can talk loud enough. But you know, I bowled 260, 260, 260, 240 the last 4 games, and you know, I came over here and I threw my practice shots, and I got a really good reaction with this. So you know, I knew I was going to have to shoot at least 260 to beat Norm, and fortunate for me, I shot 270. Dave Small asked me to shoot 300. Unfortunately, the solid 9 didn't help out. But you know, other than that, it's just unbelievable to finally get my 100th title.